welcome to part 2 of Flutter MX in the trenches. We are continuing with our work on this lovely little text-to-speech demo. It's pretty cool.
I for you, or you for me. So furious is our jealousy.
And we bounce around. The enhancement we made last time was that
It's for you, or you for me.
simply changing from one language to another was enough to trigger the playback, because we want to freely and quickly explore different languages. And we also played around with the play, pause,
It's for you,
and stop buttons. And we're going to work on that especially and get that cleaned up, because I made some bad choices. There. But before getting into all that, and there are 8 tickets, we're going to have fun. They're closely related. It should go quickly. Before getting into all that, just for those of you who didn't see the first, here is some context. The subject is matrix, a general purpose, generic, reusable state management library that you can use for just about anything that you care to write the glue for, which is not hard. It's been used for 25 years. It's a mature library. This is a common Lisp, believe it or not, application serving CookStew.js over the wire, and it works great. This is the RoboCup Sim League. This was boom, go. I offer this as a demonstration that Matrix can be used for things other than the GUI. And you might be thinking, Ken, that's a GUI. That is actually a playback, graphical playback of a game that was played. It was pure JSON exchanged over UDP sockets. And this is, as I say, it's just a playback of the log of that game. And that was a very interesting application that actually broke Matrix 2.0. Exposed its susceptibility to glitches, the bane of reactive programming. Today we are talking about using it not with CookStew, but with, or not in the back end, but with Flutter. And Flutter is a wonderful library from Google. Aggressive composition, they call it. Lots of small widgets cobbled together and astonishingly well documented. And even the error message are unbelievable. They're like a full page of text, basically explaining how to resolve the problem. Now you might be thinking, well, Ken, Flutter is a Dart library. Yes, and I'm not going to write Dart. Well, yes, I am. I'm going to use ClojureDart, a wonderful implementation of Clojure sitting atop Dart and compiling to Dart. So it's not it doesn't drive Dart, it actually compiles to Dart, done by Baptiste and Christophe. And so that's ClojureDart, Flutter, and oh, by the way, I just wanted to share that it has been used to produce an application by Benjamin Cherry. This is for a client, Paddle Express, renting equipment at the beach. So, but today, we're not playing paddleball. We are talking about text-to-speech, as I demonstrated earlier. Okay, so that's what we're doing here. And let's take a look at the first ticket. So what we did last time, and this is my bright idea, was hide the stop button if nothing was playing. And I decided that that actually is not very good GUI. Let's go look at the stop button, because now we can't see that it's there. And we learned in 1984 that if something is not appropriate for the current context, we showed that it is there, but we hide it. We dim it, not hide it. This is hiding. This is dimming. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to change from 0.0 opacity for when the app FTS status is off, and we're going to look at that very shortly. When we're not playing, when we're off, instead of completely hiding it with 0.0, we're going with 0.15 so we can see it. Now when I save, it'll compile, rebuild, and now over here to your right, you can see we have a dimmed stop button, which will convey to the user that it is inactive. Except when I tapped on it, it flashed as if it was active. And that's because, and now we get to look at Flutter's aggressive composition. Ignore. So if we want to disable something, just making it pink doesn't disable it, right? So we have to, and you know, in HTML we would just say disabled, right? And we're going to actually use the same rule, but with Flutter, with its aggressive composition, we actually use a different widget. Let's just, I got to think a little bit here while I'm typing. Okay. So, ignoring if we're off, yeah, actually it's the same rule, that's good. And let's wrap that up and let's see if we are successfully ignoring or whether I created a bug. Okay, so now hopefully we are ignoring. And we've almost done the first ticket, except some of you, like myself, might be offended by the violation of the dry principle. Do not repeat yourself. And in fact, it's more than just not repeating. The problem is semantically it's a tad off. Why is it pink instead of red? Is it because the FTS status is off? No, it's because it is disabled or it is being ignored. So what we want to say is if, watch this, you're gonna want to know about that too. If we are ignoring this guy, then we look pink. And this will still work, like even if we enhance, okay, so it still works. So when we come up with a different reason for the stop button being disabled, this code will still work. Whereas there would have been a bug because I wouldn't have probably would have failed to propagate the new condition over to the opacity. So semantically though, it's just cleaner. Why is it pink? Because we're ignoring it. Now, what is MAV? This is pretty horrifying. Well, we do a lot of navigation in Matrix. And that's one of the great things about it is we can pull data from anywhere in the application. I like to say that the application is its own database. Instead of balkanizing state out into an external store, we leave it right where it belongs, right where it naturally lives. We can just refer to it naturally from other places, and it works out really well. So what is MAV? This is a short name. These are the types of things. We have lots of these in Matrix code because we do a lot of this, and we just make them very short. There are maybe a dozen that we use all the time. And MAV is model ascending value. So starting from this model, search ascending, parents only, up to find a property named ignoring. Now in this case, we're going to go up one level and we're going to find the ignoring property. But you'll see other cases where we search much further. There's also an MUV, which is model up value, which means, well, it's not under it's not in my tree. It's somewhere outside my tree. So go up, search left, search right, go descend into siblings, and then go on up to the parents and look for that property. And again, that one also works quite well. So we've got our first ticket under control, and we've done it by honoring the dry principle. Awesome. Second ticket is something I can demonstrate here. Watch this closely. What I'm going to do is pick a language. It's going to start playing, and then I'm going to pick another language, and it's going to not stop.
I'd die for you, or you for me. So furious is our jealousy, and if you doubt this to be true, kill me outright.
I wanted to. So, what we want to do is, as you know, since we are eager to explore quickly and bounce from language to language, well, one thing we want is when I change languages, interrupt that and start the new one. So where do we do that? Well, here's a big point about Matrix, which is that you always know where to look for a change. Well, here's our Flutter text-to-speech module. And I should really spend some time on this as well. But this is where we control the language. And with matrix, there's going to be a watch function on your key value. This is the current language, LG, current language. LG is lang geo because it's a two-part thing. There's the language, EN, and then there's the geo, which might be US or GB or IE. So I call them lang geo, just so I keep that straight in my head. So here's where it changes, and matrix kind of compels us with a discipline of, where it changes here. This is where you put any incidental change handling you want. Incidental in the sense that this is not going to propagate to other state, like dominoes. I depend on A, and A depends on B, and B depends on C, and C changes, and they all. This is where a case where, well, okay, the language changed. What we want to do is, if we want to do a favor for the user, we want to hit the stop button for them and then hit the play button for them. So, well, now this just says when they change languages, assuming they've been on one language and are changing to another, do the speaking. So now what we want to do is we want to say, well, what we want to do also is, when we're not off, oh, and I promised to explain this and I didn't. I do always do that. When not equal off app FTS status, what we want to do is, and we can just, all we have to do is stop this bad boy, and that should do it. Let's see if that compiles. I got lucky. All right, so what am I trying to do here? What I want to do is start one language and then jump to another.
I'd die for you, or you for me.
I'd die for you, or you for me. So
I die for you, or you for me.
That's
So
it.
furious is our jealousy, and if you doubt this to be true, kill me outright, lest I kill you.
All right, now the stop button was not available, and that's not the way it should be. Let's see what's going on here.
I'd die for you, or you for me. So
I'd die for you, or you for me.
I die for you, or you for me. So
Sometimes what I do is bounce over to the simulator and try to use the change I just made. Well, until I actually click on the simulator, which is changing applications, and IntelliJ doesn't save the code, I don't get a rebuild. That might have been what happened there. So let's soldier on and see if that happens again. All right, so that was that was ticket number 2 to restart when they change languages. All right, what is ticket number 3? Oh, okay, so this is actually getting kind of old, right?
I'd die for you, or you for me.
I just want to bounce around, let's say, different languages up here, see what the different geographies are. And while I'm doing that, it keeps playing and playing. Well, don't do that. Just wait until I say play. So what I'm getting around to is we want to make the autoplay capability that I am demonstrating. We want to make that optional. Now, this one has been prepared ahead of time, so you don't have to watch me type. Where is autoplay? All right, you're not going to tell me. What I'm going to do, this is sneaky. I'm going to come over here. I know I have an autoplay defined somewhere, and it's already been. So we're just going to put it in, and now I'm going to go find it. Yay. Okay, so here's the autoplay option, and it's all set up to go. As you can see, all it's doing right now is setting itself. So when they toggle it, we take the new value from that comes from Flutter, and this, by the way, is where we're gluing Flutter to the matrix. Flutter obviously doesn't know anything about the matrix, so we use the handlers, and you'll see elsewhere I have places where I have the actual FTS object. I think we actually saw that already. I digress. So here's the autoplay object, and if I save, actually, we should see the autoplay guy. But no one's listening. So where are we again? So what we want to do now here is say, okay, so, well, let's see. So we're going to make this conditional Now, here's another scary guy. But as I mentioned, it's been used all over the map, including that 80,000 line code algebra program. And I can assure you that this stuff is very comfortable to work with. There are no mysteries. Okay, so now I've made the autoplay conditional on the autoplay item being set. And let's see if that works. Can I change this? Okay, and if I have it on?
I'd die for you,
okay.
or you for me.
All right,
So
superb. Okay, so that was ticket number 3. And what I want to do now is have a little fun with this. Go to that autoplay guy and do something, another nicety, another convenience. And that's what, you know, the big point here is that we can do more things with our users, give our users better apps quickly, more quickly and more readily. So we do it, so they get better apps. And what I'm going to do here is, you know how you have intermittent windshield wipers and you want it to go more frequently because the rain is piling up too fast, so you turn up or turn down the interval, but it still doesn't wipe? Well, actually my new car, well, my current car does do that. I love it. So if I say go faster, it immediately triggers the wipers. And if I say slow down, it doesn't do anything because I said I'm saying to slow down. You're going too many times. I don't need you to wipe now because I said slow down. So anyway, that's what I want to do here. I want to, when they turn on the autoplay item, I'm assuming they've been bouncing around, or they bounced once and oh, it didn't autoplay because I had autoplay turned off. So when they turn autoplay on, I'm going to assume they did that because they were disappointed that it didn't play. So what am I going to do? I'm going to play immediately. What a guy. I don't need the slot name, I do need me. I need the new prior, and I'm going to get the prior value, and I don't need the cell, which happened to be the parameters there. So, okay, now these conditions are tricky here. When new, okay, so we're going on. Now, let's make that an and. An and new. MX bound prior, meaning this is not just initialization of the app when things are unbound. That means it's been off and we're turning it on. And let's see, I guess we have, if it's off. I keep promising to explain this next guy and I never do. And it's off. And we go, okay, now we're going to FTS speak. Ta-da! Okay, how's that? Well, first let's see if it compiles. No, unknown symbol FM. Haha. I have all these family macros, so I typed FM. Okay. What did I just do? Oh, so when we turn it on, we want it to play.
I'd die for you,
oh, okay.
only for me.
Super.
So furious is...
Okay, so that was that, and now I just remembered that I have to explain this. I talked about navigating before to go get information from someplace in the application. Well, app FTS status is one of these bad boys. And look what it does. First of all, it goes out and it finds an FTS object. Whoa. Well, let's look at that. Well, here's this. What does that do? Well, that starts by climbing FASC inclusives. So family, find ascending, inclusive of me, until you find something named the app. Where is the me? The me is provided by lexically captured from an injection that the CF macro puts in. We don't want to get into this, but I'm just letting you know that this is pretty standard stuff throughout the matrix applications. A lot of lexical capture, very important that that exists. It also helps things get knitted together. So when you see any widget like this where you don't see child, you don't see children, it's all being knitted together using dynamic bindings, lexical capture, and something else. Well, the cell formulas, all the macros for these widgets expand into a formula for the children. So you don't have to say child, you don't have to say children. It knows how to do all that for us. And what we're trying to do is, as we always do with macros, is auto-generate as much boilerplate as possible so that what we're actually writing is our application and just our application. So I like to say it feels like painting. It feels like I'm painting the application. Okay, so if we go back to this, I just explained, a small bit of it, that we climb up looking for the app. From that, we get the FTS object, which you will recall is over here. And this is the FTS object right here. This is and this is an important idea as well. Another big idea about Matrix is that, great, Ken, you've got all these formulas for the properties of the widgets. That's great, but that's as far as it goes, right? No, because we can actually take something like Flutter TTS, and over here, right here, is where we actually get an instance of the Flutter TTS engine. And what do? We set up some handlers to finish gluing the FTS engine to the Matrix engine, and we stash that away in TTS so that anyone that needs it, such as the speak command or the pause command, can go out and talk directly to the engine. But for the most part, the application is dealing with what I call a proxy object of the Flutter TTS engine. And now, since I'm making a matrix proxy object, and this has nothing to do with Flutter or widgets or anything like that, it's just a pure matrix object, we now have all these different properties, such as the current language, which certainly obviously drives a lot of different things, and the play status, and we're gonna get more before we're done. Here's the play status property, by the way, that APFTS status goes to. So again, let's forget all this now and go back to the tickets, but this is what's going on behind the scenes. So what is the next ticket? The next ticket is, okay, did we already, so if we changed, did I do that? If I turn it on, it plays?
I'd die for you.
Awesome.
Or you for me.
And if I
So
turn it off,
furious is our jealousy,
it doesn't
and if
stop,
you doubt this to be
right? Because
true,
when you slow down, anyway, I was going back to the windshield wiper there. So the next thing we want to do, and this is, as I was looking at all these different handlers, I noticed one that was, looked very exciting. Yes, I'm going to be able to have fun with this one, the progress handler. And what do we want to do here? Well, it'll be something like this. Well, I'm going to actually type out a whole, because it is a little bit interesting. The progress handler, I'll just call it P for progress. And we're just going to display progress. P. Boom. Shakalaka. All right, now did that work?
I'd die for you, or you for me.
Okay, so yeah, so over here we can see the progress, which happens to be the 4 parameters, the full text, the start and end of the current word. Okay, that's great. But of course we want more structured data as we process this in the application, and I had that prepared ahead of time because this is the type of thing you don't want to watch me type. If you've seen me typing so far, you'll know why. And especially hard while talking at the same time. Did I? Oh, that's the progress handler, not the start handler. Okay. So now we have much more interesting progress. And now what we want to do, you see what I'm doing here is, okay, when I get the progress, take it and jam it into my progress property. I don't have a progress property. So what we're going to do is on the fly, sort of like with the React.js hook, you can just on the fly just bung together a little bit more state that you want to manage across events. Are we good? Okay, so now it's probably working, but what we need is something to display that. And again, I have that prepared. I'm looking for a little chyron. Chyrons were invented by a company named Chiron, and the first ones, and this was it's actually back in the 50s. Yeah, for television, it's the text that scrolls across the bottom of the screen, and what we're going to do is we're going to have the chyron below the speech below the text of the speech being spoken. Oh, I got lucky again. Let's see if it's connected. I saved, so it should have compiled.
I'd die for you,
okay.
Or you for me. So furious is our jealousy,
so,
and if you doubt this to be true.
So that's super. I got lucky, but it's only one word, and we're starting to think, hey, we've got a product here. And what is that product? The product would be a language learning tool, where you know, because I don't know about you, but you know, my high school French is pretty good, but when French people get to talking, I have no idea what they're saying because they're going at normal speed. If I talk to one French person, it's not a problem. They're very nice. We collaborate on my understanding. So let's get a slightly larger chyron, and I don't think anything needs changing. Let's see what we got.
I'd die for you.
Oh, beautiful.
Me. So furious is our jealousy, and if
so we're saying, man, we got a huge opportunity here for a great, you know, Duolingo, move over. But one thing is, I mentioned how when they're going at normal speed, it's kind of hard to follow. Well, how about this?
I'd die for you, or you for me.
Is that cool? And you know what? I think that's pretty impressive because the words are still spoken pretty normally. I mean, the slowness does not mean the word gets super drawn out. They just sort of increase the spacing between the words. Really well executed. But here's a problem.
I'd die for you, or you for me.
Wait a minute.
So furious.
Okay, so we have the same sort of problem we had with the windshield wipers, is that when we change it, it doesn't react immediately. So what we want to do is actually go find that code where we implemented that restart. You know, as soon as it changes, restart. So I'm going to call this. I'm going to grab these two guys, and we're going to make this. Let's steal this code. This will be restart, and I don't know how many prints to grab. All right. Okay, I got lucky. And we can just slap this right down here. Okay, so that'll do the restart. It'll check the FTS status. By the way, FTS status captures me lexically. And well, oh, okay, yeah, and then this actually, these functions require explicitly. Okay, so let's see if that still works. So I can change language.
I'd die for you, or you.
I'd die for you, or you for me.
Okay, so where we stole it from still works. Now what we want to do is take this and use it someplace else. Where was that someplace else? That was when we did what? Oh, when we changed the rate. I don't even know where that is. The sliders. So down here we have property slider. Ah, okay. So right here is where all the property sliders are handled in one place. And this is something I should point out is a lot of reusability here because the widgets are now just functions / macros. And we can take them and put them inside a real function and with as many parameters as we like and get a lot of reusability out of it. And this, by the way, that's not props like React.js. It's just parameters to initialize. Let me stop talking and start typing. Okay, so, okay. Well, let's see what happens. That might be it. Oh, again, I have to save. Oh, unknown symbol, FTS restart, I'm sure, because it's new. Let's go up here. Bam. Talk to me. Okay, so with any luck, when I change the rate, let's see.
I'd die for you, or you for me. So I'd die for you.
Boom shakalaka.
I'd die for you,
Whoa.
or you for me. So furious is our jealousy, and if you doubt this to be true, kill
Wow.
me outright, lest I kill you.
I'm gonna, I'm pretty sure I saved that. Let's do that again. Oh, it got
I'd
louder.
die for you,
Yeah.
or you for me. I'd die for you, or you for me.
I'm pretty sure I saved before. Anyway, but and I've seen that a couple of times. I think it might just have something to do with hot reloading versus hot restart. Oh, that, yeah, I think that's it. Only when I come over here and bang return in the console do I get the hot restart. So, okay, so I think we're back in business, and let's see what our next ticket is. Well, this one is fun, and we can almost skip this, but it's too much fun. It's now an educational tool, and the teachers say the kids are pretending to do their homework, but they're not really doing it. They press play, and then they press stop right away, and they say they're done. Okay, I made that up. I'm actually, this idea, I ripped it off from Amazon Prime Video, which just ruined their product by limiting how often we can click next on a playlist. Don't get me started. So I don't use it anymore. It's a waste. Okay, so what we want to do is not let them press stop too soon. So where am I going to put that? Well, again, we're on the stop button, and I'll go find that again the hard way because I'm not. We go to the dashboard, and we find the stop button. There we go. And what do we want to say? Okay. Well, we have a new reason not to, oh, that's an or. We have a new reason to hide or dim or disable the stop button. This one is fairly entertaining. We're going to, well, let me type for a second here. We're going to pull out the full text and word end. That's not that. Okay. From the app FTS progress. Aha. And the second condition is that the word end is less than 20% of the full text. All right. Wow. Or we're off. Or let me check here. Key full text word end app. Is this going to work? I don't know if I have a refer for this. Let's see. Boom shakalaka. All right. So now what we're looking for is that the stop button is not available until 20% through this poem by this is Robert Graves' Jealousy, by the way.
I'd die for you, or you for me.
Wow.
So furious is our jealousy.
Boom. Okay. So we have now executed 8 tickets enhancing the Flutter text-to-speech demo. It's been a while. I'm sure, but hopefully it's been entertaining and illustrative, how easy it is to add features, modify features, enhance features using information from around the application and just writing very small rules which are very easy to debug and really easy to write it in the first place, understand later, and as I say, to modify. And gosh, that should be it. Thanks for your time and trouble. Cheers.